It's very simple. There's three things. You just do these three things. Pay your taxes, mind your business, and keep Will Smith's wife's name out your mouth!
As hard as it may be to imagine, almost a full year has passed since the 2022 Academy Awards were broadcast on television and caused a worldwide internet outage. Even after all this time, the conversation over Will Smith slapping Chris Rock hasn't died down much. In fact, more and more celebrities and public figures have come forward and revealed their opinion on the matter, some taking a more serious stance, and others just using it for the comedic golden material that it is. Quite recently, the arguably most famous animated donkey in television history took a shot at the Will Smith incident. Of course, we're speaking of none other than famous actor and comedian Eddie Murphy. Apparently, Murphy couldn't hold back at the 80th Golden Globe Awards and had to take a dig at the whole Will Smith and Chris Rock debacle. But what is it exactly that he said? And what did his close friend Will Smith have to say about it? Stay tuned, because today you're in for a big one. But before we continue, please give it a like and hit the subscribe button. It really helps me grow the channel so I can bring you the hottest tea every week. Eddie Murphy, when presenting the Cecil B. DeMille Award at Tuesday night's Golden Globes, gave some sound advice to young comedians. Don't speak about Will Smith's wife.
I want to let you know that there is a definitive blueprint that you can follow to achieve success, prosperity, longevity, and peace of mind. It's a blueprint, and I followed it my whole career. It's very simple. Pay your taxes, mind your business, and keep Will Smith's wife's name out your mouth!
Now, isn't that hilarious? Murphy's remark was to Smith's infamous slap at the 2022 Academy Awards, of course. The 54-year-old actor startled the nation when he struck Chris Rock for making fun of Jada Pinkett Smith's terrible head on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And ever since then, it has been a crappy time for Will as people ridiculed him or attacked him verbally for doing what he did. And it might seem to many of you that Eddie said it to make fun of Will, but that really wasn't the case. When people started talking about how he dropped Will's name, the man came clean about why he did it. Eddie Murphy gave a few interviews to the media after collecting the coveted Cecil B. DeMille Award. E.T. questioned him in an interview about why he made the decision to make light of the Will Smith incident. The actor from Dreamgirls was forthright in his response. He said,
Because in reality, I've worked with Jada.
Yeah.
Oh, don't say her name.
I love Will.
Well,
I love Will, and I love Chris and Will, and it's all love.
okay, so there you go. Because of his friendships with Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy apparently thought he could make light of the viral situation. Now, all we could do is wait to see if any of them comment on the current internet sensation with the slap. Earlier, we reported that Will Smith's stroll on stage and slap of Chris Rock at the Oscars virtually shattered the internet, particularly because he would later return to the stage to win the Best Actor award for his work in King Richard. Smith was expelled from the Film Academy and barred from attending the event for 10 years after this act caused widespread outrage. And his return to the workforce is only now picking up speed. As a result of what happened at the Oscars, Will Smith avoided the spotlight for a while. His comeback to social media coincided with his public appearances and promotion for his major part in the drama Emancipation, directed by Antoine Fuqua. There were many questions concerning the event that he was asked to address during the press tour. Released on Apple TV Plus immediately is the film Emancipation. Eddie Murphy, in the meantime, has many forthcoming projects, such as Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley, and Triplets, that promise to be both entertaining and critically acclaimed. In the meantime, you may plan your next trip to the movies by looking at the 2023 release schedule. What happens next in Smith's Hollywood return is a mystery for the time being. Will Smith is an important part of Eddie Murphy's team, just like the rest of them. Both started their successful careers in the 1990s, and throughout the decade, they remained close friends. Will Smith, who made his name as the star of Beverly Hills Cop, has been credited with much of his success thanks to Eddie's influence. But it doesn't matter whether it was said as a joke or not, because at the end of the day, Will Smith is ending up in the spotlight. The same spotlight that he's trying to run away from right now. Things have gotten super bad for him ever since the slap, and we're not just saying that. We have the numbers to prove it. New polling data shows that following the Oscars slap incident, Will Smith's popularity plummeted. According to the Variety intelligence platform, when Smith slapped comedian Chris Rock on stage at the Oscars event on March 27th, his Q-score plummeted. The Q-score was formerly the gold standard for gauging the attraction and popularity of Hollywood stars. Each year in January and July, Q-score surveys 1,800 Americans aged 6 and up to determine a celebrity's positive and negative popularity. According to Q-score's senior vice president, Henry Schaefer, and according to Variety, Smith was in the top 5 or top 10 most favorably scored actors prior to the slap, with scores as high as 39. This placed him with luminaries like Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington. Schaefer called the drop in Smith's positive Q-score rating from 39 to 24 in July 2022 the first assessment after the slap, a very large and abrupt reduction. From January to July, Smith also had a large increase in his low Q-score statistics, which is consistent with his being badly affected by the slap. The negative Q-score Smith had before more than doubled from under 10 to 26. Schaefer estimates that a Q-score below 16 or 17 is typical for those with negative attitudes. After the incident at the 94th Oscars Gala, in which he smacked comedian Chris Rock, Will Smith is doing his best to move on with his life. Smith has spent the better part of the last year working on himself and apologizing. He said, "I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has otherwise been a gorgeous journey for all of us. I am a work in progress." A couple of months later, Smith issued the same video apology to Rock. Smith's often mocked wife, Jada, issued a plea for peace between her husband and Rock in June. Since then, he has mostly avoided the spotlight, making only brief, unofficial appearances. Will Smith has been a mystery for quite some time, but now we know that he went to a high-end rehab center to work on his stress management and spirituality. The trip was described as a family getaway that was previously planned by a source cited by Us Weekly. There had been talking of canceling it, but Jada Pinkett Smith insisted, the source added. Since storming the stage and slapping Chris Rock over a joke about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, Smith has been going to therapy after the Oscar incident, according to people close to the actor. Persistent rumors that their marriage has ended have now joined them. There were problems between them for years, but now they barely speak to each other. The tensions between them have been palpable, sources tell Heat magazine. And the movie business effectively silenced Will Smith as well. The first consequence was the cancellation of all his works, and the second was a 10-year ban from attending the Academy Awards as a kind of punishment. What's more, when Will talks of that night, he is haunted by the trauma and nothing more. For his current project, Emancipation, in which he portrays a fugitive slave, Smith has been traversing the globe and recording episodes of his new National Geographic series, Pole to Pole. He's presently traveling the rounds to promote the picture, which means he has to keep talking about the time he was slapped around. Recently, he told Trevor Noah,
That was a horrific night, as you can imagine. There's many nuances and complexities to it, but at the end of the day, I lost it.
His rationale for his actions stems from his childhood.
The little boy that watched his father beat up his mother, it's all of that just bubbled up in that moment.
Looks like the man faced a lot of consequences, and he probably will be the butt of jokes for some more time now. And if you like this video, click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be the first to see my next video. I post updates like this every week, where I uncover the secrets of your favorite celebrities.